Hello everyone and welcome back to the Team Draft Showdown here for League of Legends. Degon, Pyra, Doa bringing you the action. The very first matchup will be underway in just a couple seconds as the guys are loading into the lobby. It is of course Tyler 1 squad, MBLos, the Master Boss Legends of Swag, against the Genius Gang led by Voyboy. We already put our predictions in. Now guys, wanted to talk real quick about just the server that they're playing on. They're playing on the event server, not the live server. That means set is enabled. It is 10.1, but there's a little bit of a change to a couple of the champions that had some issues, guys, in there.
Yeah, there's a couple of bugs, and unfortunately it means we're not going to see a couple of champions that would have probably come out. Syndra's going to be one of them. Lux, a little bit less likely, is also bugged, so unfortunately both champs are disabled.
Yeah, could be big for Yasuo, who actually played the Syndra quite a bit. I believe he played it in our show match even the other day.
Did.
And he played it in the tournament previously, the last Twitch Rivals. So that might be a bit of a hit if we get to his team later.
That's right. We'll take a look at that champ pool as we get on into our first draft. Tyler 1 against Voyboy, Tyler 1 squad on left again. Part of that, the leader of Shadow Dogs Unleashed in our first tournament. Let's see how this thing shakes things up. So the last tournament and this tournament, you have picks and bans now. It's a big difference here as these guys will get ready. Again, what do you do? Do you ban out these one tricks? And already right off the bat, the answer is yes. FallenBandit's Kennen gets taken away as well as Tyler 1.
I like that they renamed a lot of themselves as well, but for some reason, Dominate is Crack God.
Yeah, it's going to be a little interesting to be saying that one in game.
Because Dom just looks sleepy. He looks sleepy all the time.
I suppose so.
I guess so. I don't know. So
also, Metaphor didn't add the MBLos.
No, he'll be fired after this game. Ken and Diana banned out by MBLos. We got, looks like the Riven and Draven banned out on Genius Game. All right, so targeting Tyler 1 a little bit with the Draven, but are they going to leave the Heimerdinger open? That's the question. That's been the Tyler 1 pick of choice lately.
It's a hard call. I mean, we've talked about one trick banning in the past, and like, okay, well, technically if it's 2 trick, then 3 trick, then you're like, well, you can only ban so many, and then there's the rest of the team to contend with.
Yeah, and Trick's not playing anymore, so there's like 0 tricks over on that team.
Yeah, I like how the bans have been spread out just a little bit here by Tyler 1's team. That was pretty good. Leona getting taken away from Lohpally. In the mid lane, Voyboy losing Diana. Diana just an overall strong champ. And we do have a little bit of competitive pedigree so far in 2020 with the LPL taking off. A lot of Akali was taken away early on, but it doesn't look like Akali will get banned. Yes, the finals.
Right now.
You say it.
Right.
The devil,
research. Do my job.
So these are competitive bans, effectively.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, the big question we had going into this one, because like the last one we did, it was blind pick.
That's right.
There was no draft until we got to the playoffs, and so you could make quote unquote one tricks like Adrian on his Riven a lot more useful, right? But now we can see immediately the Riven ban coming in. I wonder if Adrian's going to get to pick up that champ the entire tournament.
I mean, maybe if they keep going and somebody forgets about it or they value something else, but either way, that's a question for another time. Well, forget about it after a few games, right? Like anything can happen, but the Heimerdinger does come in.
Yeah, I don't think he'll ever get it. Adrian had multiple 1v5 moments in the tournament, especially in the last one where we were looking back and being like, there's no way he gets out of this, and he would pull out like a 1v3, insane play. So I think if you're able to eliminate a player's impact like that, you go ahead and do that. So don't expect to see the Riven too much unless something comes up here for MBLos later on. Early picks, Heimerdinger locked in for MBLos. Genius Gang going with the Karthus.
Yeah, what do you think about the Karthus? We saw 1 or 2 Karthus, I think, in the last tournament. Not very often, but he's been a jungle pick that's kind of popped up here and there for a long time. So he
makes his appearance. You don't always expect him, but
he's a ghost. That's what he does.
Exactly. Yeah. Pops right up and can kill you from the grave.
Yeah, Zaya gonna get locked in here for Otto. Otto, the former CLG Academy man. Working now with Lohpally, so Voyboy has his first 2 picks locked in, the jungle and the AD carry role. I guess Karthus can still go mid. You can just kind of just hold your.
You could do classic Karthus with that. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Could be right up Voyboy's alley, but he'll experiment with everything. So I would not be surprised to see something completely crazy coming out. Adrian does get his hands on Fiora though.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of...
Probably going to the top lane, yeah.
Yeah, I would say kind of expected that Adrian continues to play a carry on the top side of the map. I like how these guys are more than willing to just go to the things that they know work. So if Riven gets taken away, we know that you can carry and you understand map pressure and you understand how to absorb pressure and then utilize the free time that you have. And Tyler's been solid on the Heimerdinger. Why go away from it? And then a very solid pick there at the support role with Nautilus, one of the most played supports, I think, so far in 2020 across solo queue and competitive.
Or mid.
It could be
You
mid.
never know these days.
It could be mid.
Nautilus goes mid once in a while.
Made famous by doing B, but
it's always a fun lane for sure.
Is it?
No, it's not. I lied to all of you right now, but I had to say something.
There's the Rakan, so you got the Zyrakan going on for Genius Gang. And I mean, you know they've got a plan, obviously, for the Heimerdinger. And Zyrakan work well as a duo for a lot of reasons. But, you know, it's no secret that Tyler One's going to be playing that Heimerdinger, so you know they're ready for it.
Yeah. Well, you try to go as slippery as you can. You get that little extra range boost by using both of the Lovers bot lane, and you might be able to get some outplay potential.
True. So, new bans. Olaf, the ban from Genius Gang. All right.
Okay. That was hovered earlier.
Still one of my favorite TFT champions. He's not quite as
Zerkers.
You know, he's not quite as crazy as he was before, but he's still good. He's still solid.
How do you build into that one? What is your way that you normally try
I
to
mean,
build that?
Glacial Berserkers. I mean, it works well in Berserkers, obviously, but like Glacial is nice if you can add it in there, and then, you know, just get the rapid fire cannon on him, which makes no sense lore-wise on Olaf, but, you know, it's even better if he's not next to the person he's hitting, so he takes less damage.
Yeah, I don't know if you really have to line up like lore sensibilities with items in League. Like, a lot of the items themselves don't make a whole lot of sense.
That is true. Yeah. We've never had to do that.
No, not once.
Yeah. Vlad, the ban. Okay, from MBLos.
Vladimir.
Monster Boss Legends of Swag. Yeah.
Tristana band away, okay. Now, that, I kind of feel like that's, yeah, okay.
It's a targeted ban on high.
Yeah, like
It's targeted ban on high and Tyler. One of Tyler's backup bot laners is Tristana after Draven and Heimerdinger, so Heimer could have gone to the mid lane to high, because high is relatively, he's willing to play anything in the mid lane. Normally used to seeing him on Assassins, but not the case this time, so we'll see where they go. You assume that it's two solo laners that need to be picked here for Genius Gang. On the opposite side, you're waiting to see what the jungler will be, and you have some flexibility there with the Nautilus and the Heimerdinger.
I feel like we never saw Tyler One's pool get that taxed that he had to actually run the Tristana last time. I think it was just Heimer and Draven.
Yep.
Yeah, now that he's got his hands on the Heimer, that should obviously be the pick. The Kale comes in here for Genius Gang.
Kale, pretty strong, of course, and if they send to the top lane, that can be really annoying for the Fiora after level 6 comes up, so.
Yeah, a lot of scaling right now for Genius Gang with the Kale, with Karthus. So how are they going to pull that together in their final pick? Again, you assume it's Karthus jungle, but it could not be. You could have something that facilitates across the lanes. The Boss Legends of Swag here, going with Rek'Sai. So Dom was playing a lot of Rek'Sai in solo queue and in their scrims along with the Olaf, so Rek'Sai a comfort pick here.
I like this too. It gives them some pick potential as a team. Like, you look at some of these like solo play potential on MBLos right now, and the Rek'Sai is going to complement it nicely.
I feel like Genius Gang is going for the let's pick a comp that gives Tyler One's team the most time to self-destruct. So it's like, we'll pick a comp that's going to be solid, it's going to be very strong in the late game, and we're just going to let Tyler One's team collapse internally as the game goes on.
They don't need to win, they just need to not lose until the other team floats.
I think they're playing the just tilt them strategy.
It's a bold strategy, Con. And then it looks like we finally got our last pick there, and that should be going to high with the LeBlanc.
Yeah.
And then the LeBlanc gets locked in here for high. What I like about this for MBLos is when I was talking with high earlier, they say they play a little bit more early type champions, and Heimerdinger does fall off a little bit later on. You have Rek'Sai that has a lot of pressure, but not as much pressure as a Karthus at the very end of the game, and Kassadin. So
there you go.
You touched on it.
There you go.
Scale to win, baby, for the Genius Game, the big brain.
That's late game. That's late game for sure.
They just have to not let Dominate come in there and get a bunch of successful ganks early, and we'll see what happens.
Yep. Double TPs, but in different parts of the map too. So Tyler One taking that one, unless they change it in the next 20 seconds.
He was running the TP before, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Right on the Heimer? Yeah.
He just runs a TP, you put the turrets up, you're relatively safe. If you need an engage, you have Metaphor there to throw the anchor toss, get the grenade on afterwards, then the ult from Nautilus there. So it'll be a lot of CC. Depth charge, thank you very much.
And then, of course, like Metaphor was in our jungle pool, but picked up as a support by Tyler One because he just wanted to take like a talented player away from everybody else.
Yeah.
So
a lot of different storylines
for sure.
A lot of different storylines to cover here as these guys are getting ready to get themselves in the game, just waiting for them to load on in. But I like the fact that you get a lot of in this whole tournament, you have a lot of former competitive players here. So how do you balance?
Formerly competitive.
Formerly competitive. You know, played in the competitive.
Are you saying solo queue is not competitive?
It is not. Solo queue adventures,
well, definitely not
so fun so far in 2020. In my experience so far, hasn't been great. Stuck in.
I just played TFT, man. I don't know. Like, what's the other game
I
like?
think that's the strategy. Is the best way to not get tilted by solo queue is to not play it.
I've heard TFT has this game called Summoner's Rift that's in the same client.
Really?
That's yeah. We're gonna watch some of it right now, but yeah, that's
interesting.
All right, guys. TFT for me right now. I don't know.
All right, so we're moments from getting ourselves into game number 1. Voyboy and Tyler won, and again, just want to touch on that storyline just a bit. Tyler won undefeated, Shadow Dogs unleashed in our very first team draft showdown. But the catalyst behind all of it, and he gave a lot of credit during our draft show, was Voyboy as the coach helping them out with drafts and with strategies. And now it's the teacher taking on the pupil after the pupil had already achieved a certain level of success. I like the fact that those two will be going head to head.
That's right, man. It's like Obi-Wan versus Anakin here.
Who was the high ground?
Like, you were the chosen one. What?
Who was the high ground?
I guess whoever's got the red side.
Yeah, okay. That tracks.
That's right side, right? Right side?
No, right side is blue side.
Oh my gosh.
Almost.
You were so
Guys,
close.
I only play TFT now. No, I'm just kidding. Set is a cool fighting game character, and so he's got my pick.
He didn't get picked in this game.
I mean, it's first. You know, a lot of like new champions you don't see get picked like as often. So I'd be honestly a little bit surprised if we saw anyone pick him up today.
Well, as these guys are getting ready to load on in, we got a quick message from Tyler 1. Let's take a look at it.
Oh boy.
What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Let's
You gotta join your team, Tyler, by the way.
Okay, I got you.
Fuck.
You guys like my shirt?
Let's take a look.
What
Dude.
is that?
Alright,
Yeah, that's
let's
some
see.
good merch. That's some good merch. That's some good merch right there, dude.
All right, so you can see.
I don't, you know, I like this shirt more than the last one, actually, because it's more creative. You know, using the actual like 11.5 by 8 inch paper affixed to the chest via Scotch tape, I think is a really kind of avant-garde thing to do with the white tank top look. So it's out there. It's very cool, but fits in well with the fashion world. I think.
Yeah, very, very fashion forward while looking to the past towards inspiration. Definitely something to look forward to.
He's an artist, man.
On Tyler's website.
Hand-drawn lettering, handcrafted.
Yeah.
All
in a silvery sort of pen that you couldn't really see well on camera, I think.
Yeah,
I like that
organically
decision.
sourced silver pen.
It's one of those things where it forces you to do a double take on what does that say, and it looks twice. It gets that kind of information. I think
It makes
whenever
you want to look again.
That's what you.
Like,
That's
oh
what
my
you're
gosh.
going for in the marketing campaign. What does that say again?
Was that the greatest shirt I've ever seen? No, it wasn't.
Is it
But
top
it was
5?
a shirt. No,
Okay.
but it's a shirt. It's a shirt.
is it some of the best merch that Tyler once put out?
Hey, I mean, what he needs to do now is print a shirt that has a printout of the paper on the shirt. So it looks like the paper's on the shirt, but it's not actually a piece of paper.
All right, well, we're done
Magic
breaking
printing
down
technology.
a lot of fashion breakdown here by the fashionable Doa, but we're ready to break
That's what I'm
down
known for.
some League of Legends action. We got our first match of the Team Draft Showdown version 2 underway. Tyler 1 against Voyboy.
All right.
The Monster Boss Legends of Swag against Genius Gang.
Yeah.
Well, Doa, you were definitely known for your fashion sense, but also for your quippy League of Legends casting. So,
Am I?
well, at least in my mind.
Great.
Does anyone else know you for that? I don't know.
don't
Let the fans decide.
That's good news.
Announcer volume.
On board with Adrian right now, as he will not really be able to play much Riven this tournament.
Yeah,
No,
With
probably not a lot
bans
of
being a
chances.
thing now, yeah.
Like they're really fucking like.
Got to get those settings right.
shit.
It is a very different style of tournament when you're no longer enabling blind pick and getting it into the.
Settings on.
So, okay.
tournament
If
draft.
you've ever been curious about Adrian's settings, now.
Mute enemy
No.
emotes. Yeah. Oh, he didn't go for it.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, you got to know who you're dealing with, you know?
Yeah, that's
We're
true.
in the deep end now.
Does he do
Tell me.
auto click though, or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
He uses new cursor. Forward thinking.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
I
What
still
do you
have
think
the
about the
glove.
new cursor?
Give me
Yeah,
the glove.
I haven't changed it
Just go a
either.
long way, Tyler.
Yeah,
I think.
when you've been doing it for so long, it's just kind of hard to change. It's like an old friend. You don't want to say goodbye.
Yeah, that's true.
Goodbye, old hand.
Yeah.
Well, when you put it that way. All right, we're switching back to Tyler 1.
I like the commitment to leave the paper on the entire time. That's solid, man.
That's a big pice of tape.
This is a man dedicated to his craft. I don't think he does anything halfway.
Yeah, so Metaphor and Tyler 1 the bot lane. We've seen the Heimerdinger so many times from this guy.
Oh, we got a pause coming in quickly, though,
All right.
just to kick things off. But standard formation for the Heimerdinger, as you were saying. Really no surprises there.
Indeed.
So this is...
There would have to be a delay. And they would also...
And then?
And what happened after that?
All right, so it looked like Voyboy had a little bit of trouble getting his settings set up the way that Adrian liked to get it. Of course, they are on the event server, not the live server, so they're getting these settings for the very first time. So it's just something that they've got to deal with, and unfortunately having a little bit of an issue, so hopefully we'll be able to get that resolved.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're at LCK or LCS, you've got people helping out, making sure they're asking you, have you checked your settings? Have you made the changes you need to make? And usually that's done hours in advance of the game, but we're running it fast and loose here in Twitch Rivals. And the players, sometimes not as on top of things.
Well, players that are on top of things are Limit Test and www.com or www.twitter.com/disguised host. That's boxbox and TFBlade's teams. They're underway currently in their matches. We're going to hop on in and follow along with them as we get our featured match fixed up once they get their settings. You can see multiple dragons already taken in this game.
Wow,
7-2
My goodness,
right now. And the other thing that we want to note, you guys watching at home, you see something funny, make sure to use that clipping tool on your page right there. Use the hashtag Twitch Rivals, and maybe you could be featured on the Twitch Rivals clip of the day rollout that we have at the end of the day.
Man, can I just say I really love the Mecha Kingdom skins?
You love them. That's what we talked about.
They are so great.
That's the first thing
Their favorite skin line right now.
They really, they're awesome. I'm just a sucker for like mecha stuff, and I think they did an excellent job, like getting the designs right, and the sound effects are cool. They had a making a video actually that I really enjoyed watching. So
Absolutely.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, Jax's Counter-Strike looks explosive.
Like 2B, the thing is like it's really tough to draw mecha stuff. Like from just a 2D like drawing perspective on it, like getting the geometry right on the different parts of the character. It's a really challenging style to draw. So.
And that's just for a still. You're talking about actually animating and rendering those things all over the story, right?
It's probably easier to have a 3-dimensional model you can move around. But look at that. Nice ball from Oriana to finish that off.
All right, Tarzaned here on the boxbox. Pop's just trying to give him an opening to escape. It looks like he makes it out.
Yeah.
I appreciate Tarzaned going for the best Olaf skin.
Yeah, you got to go with the Broloff, man. There's no other choice.
There
is no other Olaf skin, in my opinion.
Very true. That was the Olaf skin that I was 2 RP short for, so I did a little drawing for Riot back in the day.
Oh.
Yeah. 2 RP drawing. It was good.
Dig that one up, retweet it at the end of
good gosh, I think they keep them in an archive somewhere. I'll try to find it.
It's out there on the internet somewhere. It never disappears,
Which, yes, that is the truth.
Yeah.
I have stopwatch for next.
Everybody's pretty much coalescing towards the mid lane right now since side towers have already fallen. Pretty big favor on the blue side here. Tarzaned.
Yeah.
Perspective, we're still going to be watching TFBlade's team.
Indeed. Tarzaned walking around.
I'm pretty strong.
These guys are like bucking up.
And I'm just like catching up on where this game is at. All right, Tarzaned 202, 8-3 now after that kill from.
It's 3 kills for the Jax as well. And that is a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
We've seen boxbox multiple times after his ribbon gets taken away, revert to the Fiora and have mixed results. Some games he's been able to carry and have an impact. Some games he's your typical solo
Definitely not
Fiora.
that, yeah. It's a bit of a dichotomy of man, if you will.
Yeah, value the AD carry for this squad as well. Spent a little bit of time on some academy teams in 2017 and 2018. Getting his hands on FallenBandit. FallenBandit very much strong, scales late, gets all the stats instead of leveling up abilities. It's fun to see how these top players will have the opportunity to use them.
All those different weapon variations too, or weapon combo variations, I should say. But there's gonna be a team fight. All right, going in. Thresh swiped away as Leona entered, but it didn't end up mattering a whole lot. Yeah, plenty of damage.
One of the best situations you can get into right now if you're on that red side, you want to turn things around. But unfortunately, in comes TFBlade, and that pretty much negated any advantage they had.
He's getting super fed now. He's 502 on that Jax. That is, it's going to be tough to deal with.
Yeah, this is rough. He's just going to be pretty much owning that top side of the map for a little while here. Should be a pretty easy finish on the tower. 1, 2, 3 strikes with the lamppost, and that's all she wrote.
Yep. Key bindings are fucked up.
Wasn't the original lore for Jax that like he wasn't allowed to touch any weapons or something?
He was too strong.
Hitting people with the lamppost.
He had to improvise a weapon that was less lethal, and that's why he says, "Imagine if I had a real weapon."
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, it was great lore back in the day.
Something like
Very
that.
simple.
Yeah. And now
Really
he's a robot.
Wait for second rift.
Yeah.
So what is the dragon count so far for these teams here?
Let's see if we get a tab up in a second.
Tough
we'll
to
find
say,
out.
you know. From,
really quick. 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Oh, and those the pro player timings when they hit those things, sometimes you really can't even see it. I don't know how they do.
Well, they know exactly where they're going to look when they hit it, you know. So.
Yeah. Finally honed mechanics.
Indeed. Every time I see people kill like creep camps now in this game, I'm like, oh, what items are they going to get out of that? Like, are they going to get a spatula?
You're just waiting for it to just pop up on screen?
Yeah.
Can she slow you? There's no way.
No.
I just hover both sides.
He just got it. He's here.
Speaking of items, nice little buy here as they're going to try to get some
We're gonna start sweeping this way.
control over the Baron Pit very early, of not quite at that 20-minute mark yet, so it won't be spawning.
Now remember, Tyler once said that no one else would be able to control Tarzan. No one else would be able to cage him, you know, and handle having him on his team. But so far, so good.
I mean, again, he's just kind of doing, he's just doing what he enjoys, right? I mean, maybe they don't have to cage him when they can just unleash him against the opponents.
That's true.
Yeah,
the real strategy.
One of the big takeaways from our first team draft showdown was the play of Tarzan. Tarzan was fantastic.
Yeah.
Probably one of the MVPs of that whole tournament. And so seeing him on a different team and rolling right along in game number 1 bodes well for him and the rest of Limit Test. TFBlade, the beneficiary, picking him early.
Yep. Yeah, it's such a huge advantage right now. It's kind of hard to see this game going any other way, but there's maybe a chance to come back into this. It just would need a miracle of a team fight and then maybe 3 more.
Waiting for shows.
Indeed.
They're on blue then.
All right, well, I'm bored now with value. Yeah.
Haven't been able to shove top all the way.
Man, he is real quick on shift and perspective.
Long lane before dragon.
That's impressive.
Is he playing in an office?
It looks like he's at work.
Wow.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Be ready for fight. Be ready for fight. They might
Pretty
contest.
cool. 303 on the Affilios. Really interesting HUD for that champion. He's really not 180 carry, he's like 5. Can't quite decide what he wants to be when he grows up.
When he grows up? How old is he?
Good question. I haven't read his lore, actually.
Isn't he, well, I think he's more or less an adult, but his sister is like in this moon palace where she sends him weapons.
Yeah, she's like sort of like a demi-goddess, if you will. That's where he gets a lot of his power from.
Catch high.
Man, it like messes me up that Leona is lunar in the new TFT set.
Yeah, that part seems really weird to me, actually.
It's strange.
It's very anti-established lore.
Yeah.
Kind of quite the opposite, in fact.
Chunking.
Oh, avant-garde.
Nope.
All right.
Just start shifting top side again.
Taking the lantern in there.
Yeah, I think we play Jax top lane and then play for dragon.
I mean, at this point, it's a control game for Limit Test. They should be able to lock this up pretty easily, as long as they don't overextend.
Right. Just kind of slowly choke things out, get all the dragons, pick up the Baron once you get an opportunity, team fight opportunity, because we're past 20 minutes of the Baron's in there.
So that's the thing. I just looked it up and got pinged. Value, current AD carry for Maryville University after his couple of stints hanging around the academy system over the last couple of years. So he'll be moving on over to the North American Champs. Has to flash out of that one, though.
There you go. On with boxbox now as he tries to come towards the fight, but he's late to the party. Fight's already happening. Value picking up a kill already on that Felios, looking for a little bit more, and boxbox just kind of has to watch his team drop again. And that's rough, man.
Yeah.
It's almost worse to be on the outside looking in than like actually being part of a fight that you lose.
Yeah, missing out on those moments when you think, okay, well, I'm about 5 or 6 seconds late. Would it have even made a difference for me to be there? And then you start asking those questions. It's not great.
You start like doubting everything in your life. You know, you're up at night
wondering what's real.
Like, have I made the right decision? Should I get a different background for my stream? The answer is no. It's a great background, but you know, you start to doubt anyway.
I have no flash. So
And that's really when it gets sad for sure. Oh, Adam Bice coming in here for TFBlade. He's getting himself even more split push potential. The Titanic Hydra completed.
Yeah, so we spent a lot of time on TFBlade's perspective. Of course, they're in the lead. TFBlade, Tarzaned, WayOfTheTempest in the mid lane, Value, and Papa Chau. Just want to touch the names on the other side that are currently trying to fight themselves back in the top lane. Captain boxbox, King Nidhogg. That was one of the first picks. I think it was the second pick there for boxbox. His first pick was TSM Sword in the mid lane on the LeBlanc. Saber, who also won the Twitch Rivals Showdown match over at TwitchCon, along with Yasuo, and Joey Lol, who spent some time on TL and CLG Academy.
It's a fight going on the bot lane, but it doesn't really matter because the split push from TFBlade is like basically on the verge of ending the game right now.
Well, they're 3v5ing and still actually not losing anybody, so this is pretty much lights out.
I mean, yeah, what are you going to do? Like, you can stop the other team from backing. I don't think anyone's going to get back there. And with the Baron minions, looking pretty good. All right.
Yep.
So he has a little bit of competition here, but who's going to stop him right now? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think there's much you can do. Good flash away from that shockwave, but I don't know if there's a whole lot else that LeBlanc can do.
Nah, not really.
Yeah, TFBlade just opened up the Nexus, and he's going to crack it open.
All right, so that's that game. That was fast.
Well,
that was really
you can say
fast,
the limits were not really tested that time, but there's plenty of tournament to go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, he's going to go for the extra kills. Pad that KDA.
Yeah, why not, man? Go for the stats.
KDA.
Yep.
There you go.
KDA, yeah.
Triple kill.
That's going to help the KDA. GG Nexus, easy win for limit test, it seems like. Wow, that was like what, 22, 23 minutes?
I think so, yeah.
25 minutes?
These games can snowball pretty fast if you're not watching.
Yeah, 23-minute victory there for limit test and TFBlade.
Meanwhile,
we got our featured matchup here. Tyler 1 against Voyboy, the Monster Boss Legends of Swag against Genius Gang. And we are about 10 minutes into it, 8 minutes into this matchup here. 2-1 so far. Not sure where the kills are, but we'll be following along with the spectator mode in just a second after we take a perspective from everybody. Is again, Tyler 1 in the bot lane with Metaphor at the support role. Not his normal role, but High, Dom, and Adrian on that roster. They're taking on Genius Gang, which is FallenBandit in the top lane, Masterfiend at jungle, Voy holding down the mid lane with Otto and Lohpally as the bot lane duo.
early kill lead and the dragon actually for Tyler 1's team.
And it's on High. High's got 2 kills. Assassins rising.
Okay.
All right, and my prediction in jeopardy already. Well, I know it's early, but maybe I've learned not doubt Tyler 1. I don't know.
That's okay. It's a mistake you only make once.
Well, we'll see. There's 3 days of possible mistakes for me. So
there's 5 more games.
I'm only just getting started.
Is that how you see the world? Yeah. A series of possible mistakes.
Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Because that is a series of possible learning opportunities.
That's how we get better.
See,
There's the good twist.
See, this
there.
was the wholesome Doa moment.
That's all my moments.
Yeah. That's very true, actually.
So wholesome.
All right.
Metaphor hiding in the brush. Not putting the alcove to work quite yet.
Well, I haven't seen as much alcove play. Of course, the last game was already well past the laning phase.
Nobody ever goes in the alcove.
Yeah. I mean, you can hide a lot of fun stuff in there. I want to see some timer turret nests. But nobody goes in, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, you can't hit anybody if you put them there.
But no one will ever find you.
That is true.
Dom.
Going through, clearing the jungle. A lot of good warding, a lot of good coverage in there, but it's all about the mid lane. Voyboy dodging out the chains.
Had to flash, though. Riftwalk was unavailable, and Dom doing a little bit of scouting on the other side and getting pressure in the mid lane for High, who currently has the 2 kills. It was a trade of kills in the mid lane at some point for Voy, so 1-1 for Voy, 2-1 for High, but 2 assists there for Dom focusing that mid pressure.
Still less than 1,000 gold lead for Monster Boss Legends of Swag. Wrong M.
MBLos.
Yeah, well, it's easy to get confused. Masterfiend is on the other side. Now, we talked about this as a scaling team for Genius Gang, so I don't think they're feeling too bad about being 1,000 gold down, or excuse me, only 500 gold down now.
Yeah, they can wait this out. And they can even give up a Drake or 2, early on. But
yeah, depends on what it is. Obviously, there's certain dragons you don't want to give up as comparison. Mountain Drake, not the worst, not the best.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is on Dom's hands here, just making sure he's still facilitating the action as Rek'Sai will fall off later on, as Karthus just continually becoming a monster with Requiem just being annoying. You kill him, and then now you got like 500 damage raining down on you. Sucks.
Well, CSIing the Summoner's Rift really quick, I would guess that he's already made a couple of trips to the mid lane, given those 2 assists. that Dom has picked up. Ooh, nice dodge by Otto. When an anchor comes flying at you, just keep moving.
He kind of just casually strolled away from that one. He didn't really need to dodge too hard. I'm wondering about the top lane here, if we're going to if we're going to start to see FallenBandit catch up a little bit now that he's hit well past level 6.
Should do. It looks like he's playing fairly conservative at the moment.
Yeah, but the wave is shoving against him. We know that Dom has been very active, has his flash. Masterfiend does not. Tough spot here for FallenBandit for the next couple of minutes.
Yep, they can wait.
Yeah, that Kayle is only going to feel better and better as the game goes on anyways, whereas Adrian will have a bit of a timer. Speaking of up at the top, ooh, look who's coming. Masterfiend through the lane.
All right. Karth is sneaking in there, being all ghostly, FallenBandit backing away. Adrian, Chase gets slowed a little bit here now. That gives an opportunity for Bandit. If he can land that Q, keep him slowed. Adrian, though, just so many dashes on that Fiora. It's really hard to lock her down with Dom coming up the lane like that. It's you don't want to follow through. You don't want to dive that.
No, it's really easy for, you know, the hunter to become the hunted very quickly when you overcommit like that, especially with pretty much full turret plates sitting on that tower. You're not going to be able to dive that as successfully as you think.
No.
Teleport coming back in, so trying to maintain that lead and not lose a full wave of minions as FallenBandit will back away. Meanwhile, people are starting to move down bot. That was a bit of a push there for Tyler One and Metaphor, but they backed up nice and easy.
Yeah, double roam by the supports into the mid lane, but nothing doing there, especially when you got LeBlanc and Kassadin, these two very, very mobile mid laners.
Yeah.
They were able to evade the gank. I think it's pretty cool to see the big difference so far, the stark difference in the pace of the game right now. Still just 2-1 since we've joined in. Whereas
I mean,
we joined in and then the game
very
was
different
over.
games of League that we are witnessing back to back. This is I am getting League of Legends whiplash at the moment.
This one will take a while, I think.
It's good. This is calm, cool, collected strategy. The last one was a pure adrenaline thrill ride.
That's true.
Probably already nominated for Best Picture.
That was well, I don't know. I was going to say Michael Bay of these, and that would not be nominated for Best Picture.
No, that's true. We need to go back a decade or two for that.
This is the Martin Scorsese of games, where it's going to be like 4 hours.
And also, there will be no superheroes involved.
Right, no. It will not, yeah. Not real films, I've heard.
Yeah. Well, just the Marvel ones. Joker's okay, apparently.
Well, it's not a superhero film, though. So.
Yeah, you're right. It is, well,
yeah.
A villain.
It's like a psychological case study.
That's true. High is going to be able to dodge out, but he has to use his flash to do it.
Ooh.
Took a lot of damage there. Yeah. All right, Dominate. It's thrown into Q to let Masterfiend know he's there. There's an Infernal Drake up. Yeah, and this you talked about this earlier. There's some Drakes you don't want to give up. This is one of them. High going in on the Masterfiend, taking a big chunk out of him. Probably a good idea to do some damage to the jungler before the Drake fight begins in earnest.
So there is a teleport advantage on Genius Gang, and now they have established vision control over that. So this has all been about a setup. It's multi-layered League of Legends in play.
Slowly but surely, right?
Exactly. You want to build on your advantages little by little. Adrian, not going to be able to find the move on a FallenBandit.
Yep, FallenBandit doing a good job of at least like keeping up in CS. He's been like 10 to 15 down for pretty much the last like 5 or 6 minutes, but hey, at least you're not falling farther behind, right?
No, that's true. As long as you can keep pace. Again,
save the turret. Nope, not going to work out. Adrian, though, coming in.
Wow, he actually took a lot more damage than he was able to dish, and I think there might have been some miscommunication
I don't think Bandit's, he didn't expect him to be at the Krugs there, and that could be a big problem.
Here comes the Karthus ultimate as well, and...
Oh!
Ew, my goodness, he almost stayed alive through it.
I mean,
they
they traded.
Make it happen.
That was a pretty impressive trade, actually.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be one more. Oh! Wow, he actually turns right back around, and Voyboy finishes it off for the twofer.
Okay, yep.
I'm coming.
You're good.
And now that Voyboy's 3-1, it's starting to get a little bit worrisome here. The kills have been evened out. If they can get the Infernal Drake, this might be the beginning of the comeback for Genius Gang and the beginning of the comeback for my prediction.
Yeah, let's take a listen into some of the comms right now because it seems like they're going very frantically.
I'm clearing this wave.
You need to walk. You need to walk now.
I'm start walking.
We have smite advantage. We're getting the backline.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm on Nautilus.
No flashes on them.
I'm going long.
Interesting. Very chaotic moment.
They're coming
back
from base.
Remember, LeBlanc has no
Well, definitely a fight win for
I got her.
Tyler One's team, but the Believe, the Dragon, did that go over to...
Nice.
Did that go over to Genius Gang?
Did it flash
Yes.
back? It was,
Yes,
Wait,
it
I
did.
thought so, yeah.
It
So they
did.
got the Dragon, or the Drake rather, which might come in handy later. And again, it's about scaling for the late game, so having that extra damage will certainly help out.
Yeah, so it should be one dragon apiece at the moment between the two teams. And really, game slowing down after what was a pretty hectic couple of minutes. And all of a sudden, the turntables, we're starting to see this with that 3-1 Kassadin.
I'm walking here.
Kassadin on the turntables, huh? He's
Great
DJ
DJ.
Kassadin.
You have to go through him because
A new skin.
Yeah, well,
I can see a
his
DJ
first DP
Kassadin
is
skin, yeah.
Rift Walking.
That's true.
Yeah, well, it's a skin idea.
Rift walking is his specialty dance move. You know, Michael Jackson had the move moonwalk. Kassadin can have the Rift walk.
And technically, isn't everyone on Summoner's Rift Walking?
I mean,
Is that how you
there's a
define
difference
it?
between Rift walking and walking.
Well, he's
on
more
the
floating, really. Him and
different
Karthus.
rifts, I guess.
Yeah.
He's alone, I think.
He's not
True.
floating. He's actually just tiptoeing very quickly.
Oh, I see.
That's what Kassadin does.
That must require incredible muscle strength in your feet.
Yeah, he's like a master ballet, a ballerina, ballerino. I don't know.
Ballerino?
Nice.
Ballerinarian.
How did you know the name of my Smurf?
Really good.
A ballerinarian?
Yeah.
That's incredible. I guessed it.
Oh, okay.
I'm great at that.
Meanwhile, while you guys were guessing solo queue names, Tyler takes down Voyboy in the top side of the map. Voy gets the assassination, but Tyler gets the bounty gold, just 150. But as you touched upon earlier, Doa, multiple kills here on the Voy means things looking good for Genius Gang.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're keeping up in gold, 29K to 27.4, so it's a slightly bigger lead than the last time we checked in, but again, as the game goes on, a 1K gold lead is going to mean less and less.
Yeah, it's not much of a snowball for sure. They're not able to build off of it, and you got to look where the kills are. There are 3 on high right now in the LeBlanc. That's always good. But if you compare across the way, you'd much rather have the Kassadin in this situation. It's only going to get better for you.
Pretty much. 1K gold. Looks like, though... All right, looks like they're going to get the Rift Herald.
Yeah, Shelly's going to get cracked here, and Genius Gang do see this happening. They're going to, unfortunately for them, have to give it up. But MBLos need to start making moves to push this game forward, to make it faster for them. Otherwise, they really do run the risk of getting outscaled. I want to see more out of Adrian. Because he's been winning lane, but he's not dumpstering anyone. And if you pick a Fiora, yes, you can team fight, but you really want to start dunking on people to get yourself ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're 18 minutes in, you're 0, 1, and 2, so probably need to get a little bit more done early with Fiora, especially against a Kale as your lane opponent.
Still sitting in the side lanes, too, so not a whole lot has actually changed as we get inch closer to that 20-minute mark.
Yep. Lohpally and Osama coming in.
I'm interested in seeing how MBLos has to start taking control of the game here, just because they know they're getting outscaled. That's the way, the nature of the team composition that Voyboy has put together along with his squad. So that's a lot on high to go and make plays. We know he's a big playmaker. He's more than willing to put himself in precarious positions to allow the rest of his team to clean up. But when's Tyler One going to start stepping up and making those plays? When is Adrian going to start really dominating the side lane push as well? Because Kale is starting to scale, so that your side lane advantage might start going away, and you know Kassadin's just going to be able to ult all over everybody in just a bit.
The teams have to start making the plays, or rather, MBLos does. If high is going in for big sacrifice, it's got to go somewhere. You can't just go in and die and then nothing happens. That's called inting.
Pretty much. Should be another Drake coming up soon, which I believe it would just be the Cloud Drake.
That'll be the next one coming through.
Yep.
Rift Herald's going to get popped in the mid, so this is the big push for MBLos here if they can actually make it happen. High actually forcing the ultimate out of the Xayah, and that will free up the tower here, but can they get more?
Yeah, Osama and Lohpally having to back off a little bit here.
One more charge for Shelly.
Yep.
That's a lot
lot
to
of
clear
damage.
through, and that does help open the map up. And keep in mind, we're about 5 seconds away from the Baron spawning.
Yeah, value, Rift Herald usage there. I think that's always big whenever you're able to hit 2 turrets along with one Rift Herald ult or usage. Now the Dragon spawning here very soon. You can see the timer down on the bottom side of the map. If you are MBLos, you want to start focusing on that bottom side to prevent the stalling out of the game that Genius Gang will have the opportunity to do.
Adrian's got to get out of harm's way first off. Dives back just in tower range. FallenBandit, a lot of damage, but Lohpally and Masterfiend coming in. He didn't get that one. He was not expecting 3v1.
No, and I mean, if you look at the vision right now that MBLos has, they don't have really anything in the top side of the map right now, so he pretty much had no idea that it was going to end up being a 3v1 under turret like that.
All right.
It does give Dom time to take the Cloud Drake, though.
That's very true. So sacrifice is not in vain. However, There's going to be another tower taken. FallenBandit able to free push there, and a couple of trades going back and forth. So the Cloud Dragon does fall to MBLos.
Yep.
Definitely not the most worth trade, though.
Probably not. Looks like Voyboy is going to be able to force high away from the turret in bot lane and keep that standing for just a little bit longer.
Yeah. Genius Gang really starting to take control here in this first game.
Well, we'll see. I mean, they actually have caught up almost completely in gold right now. They're still down a Drake, but they've got the Infernal, which is great. And like we said, they've got the late game too, theoretically, if they don't lose like a horrendous team fight and end up dropping an inhibitor or a Baron because of it.
Yeah. Well, you got to look back to the team's win conditions, right? You look at the way they drafted this, and Genius Gang were very clearly going for something that could team fight. And for the most part, we've seen kind of mix and match, but it was early game where MBLos really had the advantages, and that's what happens when you have a pick comp. Especially when you have that combo of high and dominate in the lane, and it seemed like it made Voyboy's life hell for a bit, but he weathered it.
Mm-hmm. The more wings, the merrier for Kale. That's a lot to go through during the course of a game. Growing entire new appendages. That'd be tough. You know, it'd be tough to focus.
If you got to have more, what would you have? What appendage would you grow?
Interesting question. Just well, like hands attached, I would assume. Like that's a full.
Well, of course, not just the arm without the hand. Like why would you? Yes,
just flopping arms around,
and fingers too.
Just is it specific left or right? Like you're gonna get a matching set each time, or
both? Yeah.
Okay.
You know, just one.
What if you had to pick one? What's your dominant hand?
Right.
Okay, so what if you got like 3 extra right hands?
I would pick one coming out of the middle of my chest.
Ah, that'd be
a right hand.
Classic position.
There you go.
The chest.
Masterfiend over the wall has to try to avoid the depth charge coming in from Metaphor, but no gank happening there from the MBLos side, but they're just trying to take control of the Baron pit.
Yeah, secured a lot of vision here, so MBLos are kind of trying to flex their muscles a lot, and I suppose that makes a lot of sense for any team with Tyler 1 on it.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I was talking about earlier. How will MBLos get on in there? A lot of targets here for Genius Gang. Very slippery. You have the ult there for Xayah to get himself out of any CC or any damage. Lohpally has multiple battle dances to get himself back to safety as well as the grand entrance. The only one that you're a little worried about is Karthus, but Karthus is more than willing to die in a fight. But right now, HP getting chunked down on the opposite side of the map. Voyboy going to the bottom.
Yeah, and that's going to instantly prompt the Baron start here. So MBLos are taking the sacrifice play, and Adrian's actually able to escape with his flash.
Yeah, and no teleport opportunity for Voyboy to
get
back in there. No, Masterfiend high finds the pick. Karthus off ult gets used anyway. Of course, that's going to do a lot of damage near this Baron, and now they're going in. Lohpally trying to make something happen to Xayah Khan. Baron's still a little bit low, but
they got one kill.
Looks like MBLos going to turn it around on the Genius Gang. There goes Lohpally. It's a brawl, man. It's really a melee right now. Genius Gang coming out on top of that one.
Yeah, and it looks like for a minute MBLos was going to be able to get everything they wanted and more, but Genius Gang had enough of the tank, and now Tyler 1 on the wrong side of the map.
He's not going to get away from that one.
Oh, boy.
No. And that was a fight. That was like the fight in the game that Monster Boss Legends of Swag needed to win, because now they're going to lose this Baron, and now they've lost the gold lead, and with the team compositions that we see, it's going to be tough to come back.
And that was huge from Lohpally. Had a massive 3-man charm into a knock-up. It bought so much time for Otto, the artist formerly known as Osama, also formerly known as Zag, coming in and just wreaking havoc. It allowed time for FallenBandit to go back, heal, TP into the fight. Voyboy walked all the way up after TPing down to the bottom side of the map, and it was just a clean wipe there. Great play by Genius Gang, and now they have a stranglehold in this matchup.
It didn't have enough damage to polish off the Baron fast enough. It really bit them in the behind. MBLos are going to have a hard time to come back in this one.
I mean, I guess the scariest part is that, you know, even with Masterfiend dying immediately in the beginning of the fight, the damage he was still able to get done with the Karthus ult is concerning.
All right,
see what High has to say here.
Making use of those alcoves now. Oh, didn't end up
about time.
Yeah, someone had to do it.
Hit the tower, hit the tower, hit the tower.
Oh, Voyboy.
Trading gank forward.
Voyboy.
He walks away.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be a big rotation.
Oh, dear.
The surround is real.
This is not good.
Yeah, all right.
Here comes the rest of Genius Gang.
All Cove players.
Oh, Otto could be a little bit.
Stand up.
Yeah, I was going to say, man. Oh, Tyler won. Picks up a kill, actually.
Yeah, more.
All right. It was a trade, but still, at this point, it's got to be worth it. Now Dom comes in to pick up Masterfiend.
We see the color palette.
Yeah, they aren't done yet.
Yeah, I think I might get away with this one.
I mean, he's just getting chased everywhere. Voyboy's trying to make up it high, obviously, can just back off. Ah, but Lohpally right there.
Oh, he would have gotten away with it too. If it weren't for that pesky Rakan.
Yeah, that's right.
They only get dragon off.
The pesky bird man. His bird dancing ways. He's kind of a bird guy, right?
Yeah, he's a bird dude.
They're kind of bird people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Vestians are allergic to shirts, at least the guys. We have a trend now.
That is true. All right. Cloud Drake now up for both sides as Genius Gang grabs one. Genius Gang does shorten to GG, so I think that's what we might be seeing sooner rather than later.
7-2 Kassadin. I would say your predictions are a little safer than they were when we last checked in, Doa.
Yeah, I knew. I never doubted. I never doubted for a second.
Gotcha. Yeah, unfortunately, MBLos, they had some tools to work with, but they just haven't really gone off into overdrive. Adrian's been 0-3 this game. And it doesn't matter how many kills you can stack up on LeBlanc, you need to be putting on constant pressure, and Hyde just can't do it all alone.
Yeah.
Good on Tyler 1 to get a couple outplays. I think, this has not been a complete dumpster fire of a game for MBLos.
No. It was, well, like I said, I think a lot of it came down to that Baron fight. They really needed to win that fight near Baron. And if they would have done that, and they would have been able to secure the Baron, then I think we'd be seeing a very different game. But it just kind of comes down to that crucial tipping point again against some of these later game comps where if you can't get that win 2/3 of the way through the game, then suddenly the pendulum swings really far the other direction.
Yeah, and that just means it's going to get exponentially harder to come back in. The 3,000 gold advantage on Genius Gang as we're 27.5 minutes into this one. This is where you start looking for Hail Mary fights.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like a huge deficit, 3K, but it's big enough. It's more, again, the trajectory of the champions in the game,
Absolutely.
Than anything. I mean, now, obviously, Fallen is just going to clear waves like crazy.
Yeah, this is late game Kale.
Yep.
That's fun. High gets one minion off of that. Yay.
Hey, that's gold.
Yeah, I could farm 2.
Oh.
They're going to try to do a little bit of baiting here, but who's baiting who?
I mean, Dominate's right there, too. High actually going in. Bandit's going to get stunned.
It's got
a lot of damage from High.
He goes
in.
in.
Able to get this one, maybe.
My goodness, and Voyboy, he took out Adrian on the back half of that one. FallenBandit, though, is like a cornered animal, very scary. The Karthus ult coming in.
Is this the
They'll get the knock up.
It?
Just enough timing to get it, but it still ends up being a 1-for-1 across the map. Look at Genius Gang, they're just pushing in.
All right, yeah, why not? I mean, if everybody's up in the top lane, then yeah, just take the bottom tier 2.
So we should get a tower trade. Probably going to go in favor of Genius Gang. It's a lot faster and they have the minions to work with.
Yeah, big thing to note here is Voyboy and the big brain now reaching critical mass, hitting level 16. That means he has the level 3 Rift Walk, where now it's like a Rift Stomp of AP damage every time he pops that on top of somebody. So, gonna be difficult to claw their way back in. I do think that if there's a way that the Legends are able to battle themselves back here, they've got to make sure they get themselves a pick and not lose turrets like that. You got a couple more outer turrets or inner turrets to get rid of there, but it needs to turn into something. The classic High call, we got a couple kills, what can we do with this? Lose a turret. Hopefully it's not that.
Brilliant. Well, we are on the verge of seeing Tyler 1 lose his first game in Twitch Rivals
This is Twitch Rivals history, yeah.
Yeah.
Team Draft Showdown.
10 wins undefeated in the first Team Draft Showdown. About to go down 0-1 here. Clearly this team is no Shadow Dogs.
No.
Which means the only remaining member of Shadow Dogs that are currently active, Tarzaned, 11-0.
True enough.
That's true. Adrian, he's trying for that outplay, but that ain't happening.
Nope, he got
way too big.
Yeah. There's way too much damage coming in now.
9-2. That's a scary Kassadin.
Yep.
Mikhail, it's just icing on the cake.
Another 1,000 on the gold lead added by GG since last we looked at it.
Holds up.
Should be a Baron pretty soon here, actually. So they still do need to drop back and make sure they control that. I think Baron is maybe
meanwhile, leaving that flank undefended. Voyboy and FallenBandit just freely taking this tower. High comes in. Voyboy, he steps out.
Yep.
Oh, he didn't look back.
Oh, he's not done yet.
Maybe.
This looks like a disconjointed call. Here we go.
Here's Metaphor Tyler 1 and Dominate. They're looking for the damage out of the Kassadin. Can they delete him? Voyboy's going golden here, and they change targets to FallenBandit. They might actually manage to get one or two. Tyler 1!
Sniper! But the Baron's going to go down anyway.
Yeah, Zaya's going to take this one quick.
That was a moral victory, though, for MBLos.
It felt good.
All right.
Yeah. This doesn't feel as good, but that moment, can't take it away from him.
Yeah, I mean, the Baron is ultimately the more important thing than a couple kills, but they did alleviate a little bit of pressure in the bot lane for a little while at least.
You know, we've been dogging Tyler One's Heimerdinger picks in chat. Everyone's saying, lol, Tyler without Draven. There you got to see some Heimer mechanics, a flash forward with the rockets. You see
nice
a little bit
rocket
there
snipe.
from Tyler One.
Yeah, he's still got it for sure.
That
one
was
trick
the swag part of the team name. That was the of swag part.
Yeah, well, where are the Monster Boss Legends? That's what I want to know.
They are...
they're on the other team.
Yeah.
They were
We're
the
gonna
two
have
that
to
they
name
just
change
killed.
after this.
Tyler One's team has all the swag right now. Genius Gang has they're all the Monster Boss Legends.
Monster Boss Genius Gang.
There you go. Yeah. Well, Genius Gang again, like saying, you know, we're going to name ourselves this very cerebral name, and we're going to play a fairly cerebral game as well. We're not going to go super aggressive. We're not going to go for any sort of cheese. We're going to play the late game. We're going to play League of Legends straight up. You know exactly what we're going to do, and they did it well.
Yep. Can't stop it if you aren't good enough to do it. Here we go. Fight up to the top side. It starts with FallenBandit getting taken out.
Yeah, Dominate getting a little bit low, though. He had to back away. They couldn't keep going. And meanwhile, all the inhibitor turrets have dropped, I believe. Yeah.
That's it. Here's the turnaround if they can make it happen.
Nice
Metaphor
hook.
does get one root. It's going to be another stopwatch popped here. And Osama takes down Metaphor. High a little late to this party.
Ooh, High lurking in the background, but I don't think, really have an opportunity to come in and get any sort of snipes. It's just going to be all the inhibitors dropping. Second one going down now.
Yeah, this is the slow burn. MBLos, last-ditch effort to try and turn things around. Masterfiend getting taken low, but not out. And Adrian, he goes in as well, but
big
too
charge.
much more. That's going to be the shot. The feathers flying, and in comes Voyboy.
Oh, Lohpally had a huge ultimate there. He got like 3 or 4 with that, and yeah, that gave Voyboy and Otto all the room they needed to get the kills, and that's the end of the game.
Yep, GG, 32 minutes in.
GG for GG.
Nicely played by Genius Gang.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I used so hard that game.
I never doubted for a second. You know, I am unbiased. I'm an objective observer as a caster of this, but I knew it was going to happen.
I called friendship. Friendship did not beat Kale and Kassadin.
No.
That's the lesson we have learned, is that you cannot count on friendship to carry the day.
Generally, they trump friendship. It's true.
Kale and Kassadin, specifically?
Well, I mean, sure, but at late game. Kassadin.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, you just go back to the one big moment of that match that we got to watch. It was the Baron play. I think it was the right call, but it was a big play from Lohpally to get a big 3-man charm into the knockup. And even in that last team fight, I think got all 4 members that were alive in a big charm there. Let's take a look at highlights from that last game overall, just in case you missed it. It was a big TP play to open things up after things had been a little slow for a while. This transitioned into the Drake take on the bottom side of the map and gave Genius Gang time to scale here, not worrying about the Drakes.
And that's the thing. This is exactly what Voyboy wanted, right, from this game, where it's like, yeah, play a passive early game, let them kind of run around, let them try their ganks. They stayed safe, and that's all you really need to do when you're playing the champions that they're playing.
Yeah, getting the teamfight coordination didn't hurt either, and you could start to see whatever comms they were having, heck of a lot better than what was going on
Mechanics.
Side. And this was the swag play.
Yeah, that was solid.
Can't take that away. That's one for the highlight reels.
Feels good. And then this was a really incredible ult, actually, from Lohpally to set up the last team fight win.
And then the Rift Stomp. Ugh.
Yeah.
It was dirty.
There you go.
There you have it. So your standings after the first game. Limit test. We saw that one end what feels like almost a whole hour ago. TFBlade just speed running through www.twitter.com/toast. Disguised Toast. That is boxbox's
You sponsored you too?
Yeah. Just saying the full name, as well as Monster Boss Legends of Swag falling for the first time. Tyler won, losing for the first time in the team draft showdown, as well as Adrian Rivet losing for the first time.
It's the end of a long era, that's right.
Well, it's the beginning of a new era, right? They didn't continue the name Shadow Dog, so a little bit different here. So we got to see those first matches, but that's not all we have. We have 2 more matches from Group A.